Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Glad you could tune in again. I hope you'll forgive me if this video looks a little shaky. My nice fancy tripod and all the other bits and pieces and the microphone and so on are all hidden away in a container ready to be shipped across the Atlantic. And this is a little bit more handheld and rough and ready. But I nonetheless wanted to share with you something which has been on my mind on and off for the last few weeks and months, and which I was reminded of again just in the last few days. And it's a couple of verses from Proverbs chapter 3, which I'll read and then I'll say a word or two about. So it's Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6, and it goes like this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Just a couple of observations about that. The final clause, he will make straight your paths, seems deliberately to lean in a couple of different directions at once. To make someone's paths straight means to make things work out well for them. Straight paths as opposed to bumpy paths. A road free of obstacles as opposed to a road strewn with debris and things you might trip over. And this is the sort of emphasis that's found in this chapter of Proverbs, actually, as well as elsewhere. It's the sense in which the book of Proverbs says, to put it crudely, things will work out well for us, generally speaking, if we trust in the Lord. For example, verse 4, verses 3 and 4, let not steadfast love and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them round your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart, so you will find favour and good success in the sight of God and man. There's just one little cameo of someone whose path has been made straight by the Lord. Straight in the sense of, things are, generally speaking, working out okay for that person. That's one sense of he will make straight your paths. But there's another sense of it, and this is the meaning of the term here translated to make straight. In many, many other places of Scripture, and the verb is a very, very common one, to make straight. It means something like to make righteous, to make right, to make upright. It's the opposite of crooked in the sense of deceptive or deceitful or dishonest. So someone whose paths have been made straight has not only been led along paths of fruitfulness, but along paths of righteousness. And of course, it's easy to see, isn't it, why the one word would have that double valence, because obviously the two are not unconnected. Actually, a fruitful and productive life is a righteous life in the end. And so that's what these verses promise to one who will trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. And this just brings me to the second observation that I wanted to highlight from these verses. The exhaustive and comprehensive character of the dependence which is called for here. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. No space is anticipated for seeing things in your own way. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. This seems almost to be calling for a kind of inhuman degree of dependence and trust on the Lord. And one wonders in what circumstances that kind of dependence and trust would be possible. And I suspect that among other situations, it's more likely to be possible for us when we are stripped of some of the things in which we would normally place our confidence. When we feel at the end of our tether, when we run out of ideas, when we feel completely exhausted, when we face an array of problems and challenges ahead of us which seem so tangled and so complex that we simply cannot see a way through them. In circumstances like that, we are, I think, far more likely not to lean on our own understanding because it's all too clear to us that we don't have any. We are more likely to trust in the Lord with all our heart. Our prayers become more fervent, and we're likely to acknowledge him in all of our ways because it's abundantly clear to us that we haven't plotted any of our paths through the chaos that lies ahead of us. And it strikes me then that this is one of the reasons why the Lord sometimes places us in these sorts of positions where we really are running out of ideas and we cannot see a way through whatever it is ahead of us. You can imagine any number of circumstances in your life in the past and perhaps in the future which would meet that description. I wonder if the Lord exposes us to situations like that sometimes, so that we learn to trust him and depend on him just that little bit more, so that he is able to fulfill in us what he promises here, that he will make straight our paths. He will be the one who irons out the problems that we see looming before us. And he will be the one actually who increases our godliness and our faithfulness in and through those circumstances. He will make our paths straight in both those senses. And so these verses have been in my mind, and truth be told, the minds of others in my family a little bit in recent months. They've been an encouragement to us, and I hope they have been to you. The Lord bless you, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.